Every day you're not hitting your goal, you're failing. What is the very first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Take responsibility for yourself. It's not up to someone else.
Or replace the boring, things that are not exciting you anymore. Change them for things that are equally awesome for you or better for you, but that actually motivate you naturally. Let's talk about how you can jumpstart your day and end it well too. I mean, wouldn't that be awesome if you could jumpstart your day so that you have a really productive, effective, happy, awesome day and then end it well too. That's kind of like two layers of the sandwich.
Yeah, you sleep better when you've ended the day well, right?
Right, absolutely. So Mike Mandel, he is the leader of Mike Mandel Hypnosis. I'm Chris Thompson, and we're here to help you start your day and end it well too.
That's right, Chris. Now, first of all, people set goals. This day I'm going to do this and this and this. I'm going to try to do this. Every day you're not hitting your goal, you're failing. So we moved away from goals, and we got this from Scott Adams, which is an absolutely brilliant idea. Instead of goals, set up systems.
Yeah.
So a system is a big chunk idea, not a measure of do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. It's just, it might be something as simple as, go for a walk or do some exercise in the morning. And it's left wide open. It's just, you're going to do that at some point.
And I think systems simply support goals. We're not saying that it's a bad idea to set goals.
No, of course not.
It's a great idea to have ambitions and to get specific about what you want. But it's an even better idea to wrap those goals around systems where your regular behavior and actions that you take support those goals.
Now that's good. And I'll give you a prime example of this. When I do a workout, I have options. I don't say, now do this, now do this, now do this. I do mostly body weight stuff, some kettlebell, some bike, some rebounder. I'll just go downstairs, put on my running shoes and put on my exercise gear, and I'll just start. I'll just start doing something. The system is saying, get downstairs and do something. But every day it'll be varied. One day maybe I'll just do 10 minutes on the rebounder. Another day I'll be doing 200 Hindu squats or something. But the system means get down there and do something instead of a checklist. Done.
My system is I bring my iPhone, I connect it to my Bluetooth speaker, put on some awesome music, and then I usually know what I'm doing in the gym that day, but boom, if I don't feel it, that's fine. The system is operating, I'm gonna do something.
Right, and even if it's just a couple of things one day, you're still fulfilling the system. You have not failed. So it's a great idea. Start with something, anything, every day. And I would ask you, what is the very first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? What is built into your system or into your routine already?
That's a really good question, and it's changed for me over the years. We should have a brief discussion about this, right? Because if you start your day with, let's say, just lying in bed and hitting snooze over and over, then when you do eventually get up, how do you feel? You feel like, oh man, I really wish I was still in bed.
No, it's horrible, and then you're running late.
Yeah, like for me these days, when I wake up, the first thing I typically do is get out of bed, put some song on the speaker in the Alexa.
Let me guess,
whatever it is.
Dire Straits.
Yeah, it could be anything. I usually pick a different piece of music, but I listen to something, and then I do a little bit of morning, like limbering up, because I'm at that point where after a night of volleyball or baseball or something, I got stiff, sore joints. So if I get out of bed
getting old now.
and I immediately start moving and limbering up, a little bit of light stretching, and then make the bed, I feel great. That's a great way to start me off.
Now that's a good point. You got something that works. Ask yourself, what is that thing you do when you first get up? And my question is, how's that working out for you? Because you have to identify what gets you going. In my own case, sometimes I would leap out of bed in the morning and just get moving. And other days I'd lie there. And then finally I just sat there and thought about it. And I thought, what is it that gets me going in the morning? And I have an inner voice that says, I've got to get moving. As soon as I say that internally, bang, it starts me going. It's become anchored.
Yeah, the idea of there's usually something happening in the brain that says, okay, it's time to get out of bed right now.
And that throws a switch.
And then begin whatever your morning routine is. If you don't have one, we suggest you develop one, something that you feel will be useful to getting your day going, even if it's just that quick 3 minutes of limbering up or putting on some music or making your bed. Start with something that will serve you.
Right, and one of the things we've taught on many times is the idea of empowering questions. So just touch on it. Empowering questions are questions you ask yourself, preferably out loud, and see what answers you get. And you start with maybe just 3. Keep it simple. And you ask them every day, and just see what your brain comes up with. It can be things like, what will I do today to drastically improve my health? See, the presupposition is that you're going to do it. Or how will I relate to other people today and build strong relational bridges with them? It's just
Yeah, that's a great question. If relationships are important in your life, at your career or in your social life, whatever, yeah, how will I? Not how
How
can
could I, or
how
how can
could I? How
That's still
will
out there
where-
somewhere.
Yeah, that's a great question.
And the one I like, this builds in a presupposition. As I continuously improve my life, notice that's presumed that it's going to happen. As I continuously improve my life, what will I do to build in new skills today?
Today,
Get a
not
time frame on it.
tomorrow, not next year, but yeah, little small steps that you can take forward. And it's probably worth reviewing your empowering questions on a regular basis too, right? Because if you pick 1 or 2 or 3 of these empowering questions, and then things change in your life, maybe it's time to redesign them and design new questions.
That's perfect. Because if you're trying to move to a different place or have a new life, and then you get that, you're not going to keep asking that same question all the time.
Exactly.
Right? Now, you want to bring order to your life and to your day as well. We're always stuck between chaos and order. Too much chaos, life gets out of control. Too much order, life is no fun. We need a bit of chaos to bring in creativity and imagination, but we need enough order so our lives function. So what are you going to do in the morning? You do the make your bed thing.
Yeah,
right?
I said make my bed, loosen up my joints, listen to some music. Other people might choose a few minutes of like deep breathing or something like that. What do you do in the morning?
Well, I get up, I have the coffee set, so the moment I get up, I hit that button and start feeding the Egyptian male cat who's been yelling for 10 minutes for me to get up. And then I sit there and sort of zone out for a few minutes, drinking the coffee, just scan the news quickly to see if there's anything useful for a Brain Software podcast. And that starts me off. Like I wake up pretty quickly, falling into a simple routine.
Yeah, serving the cat and drinking your coffee.
Exactly.
There you go. So if you don't have a morning routine that is working for you, come up with one, even if it's just 1 or 2 simple things. And if you do have a morning routine,
examine it.
And it isn't working for you,
how's it working
think
out
about simple changes that you could do that would trigger what you actually want to feel.
Brilliant.
Because routines trigger states.
Yeah, they do trigger states. And the thing is, people don't need motivation. How many people say, oh, I just got to get motivated. I've got to get some motivation.
We know some people who say that.
Yeah, a lot of them. You don't need motivation. You need to do things. You don't get motivation. It's not some magical thing that appears and touches you with a wand.
Do the things.
Just do the things you're supposed to do.
And then you'll get the motivation to continue doing the things. And if you treat the idea of incrementalism as something quite seriously easy to do little things.
They add up.
And you will start to feel the motivation to continue. And you get the results.
Take responsibility for yourself. It's not up to someone else. I get a friend, and Chris knows him well. He's always, Mike, I need you to keep telling me this. I need you to keep telling me this. I won't. I'm not telling you anymore. You need to do what you have to do. You don't need me to keep telling you to do it.
The other thing, when I mentioned incrementalism a moment ago and taking baby steps, so I know somebody on our team who decided that she was going to go do a 20-kilometer run. Now, young and fit, but not a runner, and
oh, not a runner.
Horrendous pain. Yeah, well, was getting back into running. Yeah, 20-kilometer run. I mean, I remember I did half of that. I did a 10-kilometer run once in 2011 in France. I decided that I was going to run from the village that we were staying in to a nearby village about 5 kilometers away and run back. I had the most horrendous pain in my shins.
Because you hadn't been running.
Because, I was not ready for that. So
whereas I was doing 10K 4 times a week.
I went overboard. Had I simply decided to go do a 2 or a 3K run, that would have been fine. That would have been my version of incrementalism.
Easing into it.
Right. So don't decide, I'm going to totally transform my life. And my new morning routine is I'm going to weightlift for 60 minutes. I'm going to only have 1 cup of coffee. I'm going to meditate for 2 hours. I'm going to make the
crazy.
bed, cut the lawn.
That'll last one day.
Yeah, you'll go crazy.
So add things gradually and celebrate the small victories. When you get a bit further ahead, say you start doing push-ups or walking, you do 20 minutes. That's a victory. The next day you might do 21 minutes. Reevaluate over time, and you have to always check, what results am I getting? That's an important question to ask yourself. What is working well? What is not working? Because the things that aren't working can either be dropped completely or replace with something
Absolutely, that's it. Drop the stuff that isn't working, change it with something else. Just think of it like if you are into healthy eating, you're still probably going to get bored of certain recipes that you make for yourself. And you can replace them with something that does have you more interested, something equally healthy but different. So you can change things up. And if you found yourself eating junk food, then you would replace it with the healthy food. So the idea of replace the bad or replace the boring, things that are not exciting you anymore. Change them for things that are equally awesome for you or better for you, but that actually motivate you naturally. That's the best way to live.
That's a great spot to end.
I think so too. So we'll leave it there. We'll say subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you check the links in the description under this video. We'll put some resources here for you that'll be useful. And we'll see you in the next video.
Thanks again.
And good night.
Good night.